Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to explain about TOEFL preparation. Okay, the contents. The TOEFL test consists of 3 sections. The first one, listening comprehension. The second one, structure and written expression. The third one, reading comprehension. At this time, we are only going to learn about the second section, structure and written expression. At this time, we are going to learn this material. The first one, subject and verb. The second one, object of preposition. And then present participles. The fourth one is past participle. And the last one is coordinate connectors. Okay, we go on to the first, subject and verb. As we know in English, in a sentence, there must be at least one subject and one verb. In identifying a sentence, there are some common problems. The first one, missing either subject or verb. So the sentence perhaps does not have any subject, or it does not have any verb. And the second one, missing both subject and verb. So the sentence does not have any subject and verb. The third one, having an extra subject or verb. The sentence has more than one subject, more than one verb, double subjects or double verbs. Those are constituted as problems within a sentence. Have a look at the example. The first example, blah blah was ringing continuously for hours. First that you must do is identify the subject and the verb of the sentence. Whether the subject has both subject and verb or not. Blah blah was ringing continuously for hours. Can you find a subject? No. Can you find a verb? Yes. Was ringing is a verb. So this sentence is missing a subject. After identifying the missing part of the verb, please determine which one is the correct answer between 4 choices. Loudly. Loudly is an adverb. It cannot be a subject. In the morning. In the morning is a prepositional phrase. It cannot be a subject. The phone. Yes, it can be. The bells. Yes, it can be. Now have a look at the verb was ringing. The verb uses to be was. Was must be used for singular subject. So the best answer is the phone. The next example, newspapers, blah blah, every morning and every evening. Please identify the subject and the verb. Can you find a subject? Yes, newspapers is the subject. Can you find a verb? No. So this sentence is missing a verb. Have a look at the choices. Find out the verb. Delivery. No, because it is a noun. I delivered. Yes, perhaps. On time. No, because it is a prepositional phrase. What about regularly? No, because it is an adverb. So the best answer is I delivered. I delivered is in the form of passive voice. The next example, the plane blah blah landing at the airport in 5 minutes. Identify the subject and the verb. Can you find a subject? Yes, the plane as the subject. Blah blah landing. Landing is the verb ing, but there is no auxiliary. Verb ing function as a verb only if it is preceded by to be, am, is, are, was, were, auxiliary, have, has, had, be or been. So, in this case, the sentence is missing auxiliary or to be. Point A. It is. No. If you choose this, it means the sentence will have two subjects, double subjects. It really is. No, because it will be double subject. Is descending. No, it will be double verb. Descending and landing. What about will be? Yes, it is the best answer. In this lesson, subject and verb agreement, remember that a sentence in English must have at least one subject and one verb. The first thing that you should do as you read a sentence in the structure section of the TOEFL test is to find out the subject and the verb. Now we come to the next lesson about object of preposition. An object of a preposition is a noun or a pronoun that comes after a preposition such as in, at, of, to, by, behind, and on to form a prepositional phrase. So the noun after preposition is called as the object of a preposition. There are many prepositions. I just only write some of the preposition. You can find many others yourselves. Okay, have a look at the example. The trip to the island on Saturday will last for 3 hours. Identify the subject and the verb. The trip, the subject, will last, the verb. What about to the island on Saturday for 3 hours? To the island on Saturday and for 3 hours. In this case, to the island is a prepositional phrase. On Saturday is same as the first. It is also a prepositional phrase. For 3 hours is also a prepositional phrase. The island is the noun follows to, so the island is called as the object of a preposition to. Saturday is the object of a preposition on. 3 hours is the object of preposition for. So the nouns that follow the preposition are called as the objects of preposition. Example, to Mike, blah blah was a big surprise. Can you find a subject? Is to Mike a subject? No, it is not a subject. To Mike, to is preposition. Mike is the object of a preposition to. So, to Mike cannot be a subject because it is a prepositional phrase. Blah blah was a big surprise. Can you find a verb? Yes, was is a verb. So, the missing part is the subject. Have a look at A. Really. Really is an adverb. It cannot be a subject. What about the party? Yes, it is a noun phrase. It can be a subject. Funny? No, because it is an adjective. It cannot be a subject. What about when? When is subordinate connector. It cannot be a subject. So the best answer is the party. Remember, a preposition is followed by a noun or pronoun that is called an object of the preposition. If a word is an object of preposition, it is not the subject. So the object of a preposition cannot be a subject. Okay, we come to the next lesson about present participles. A present participle is the ing form of the verb. Like deciding is the ing form of a verb decide. Continuing is the ing form of the verb continue. Determining is the ing form of the verb determine. Compiling is the ing form of the verb compile. So those ing forms are present participles. Present participle can be first a part of the verb when it is preceded by some form of the verb be. Have a look at the example. The train is arriving at the station now. Can you find a present participle? Yes, arriving. Is it preceded by to be? Yes, is a to be. So the function of arriving in this sentence is as a verb because it is preceded by to be is. The second function of present participle is as an adjective when it is not accompanied by some form of the verb be. Have a look at the example. The train arriving at the station now is an hour late. Can you find a subject? Yes, the train. Can you find a verb? Yes. Is the verb of the sentence. Is in this case functions as the verb. So what about arriving? Arriving is the ing form of a verb, so it is a present participle. Because it is not preceded by to be, it functions as an adjective. Describes the train. Okay, have a look at the example again. The film blah blah appearing the local theater is my favorite. Identify the subject and the verb. The film is the subject, and then is the verb. So what about appearing? Because this sentence is already complete, appearing function as the adjective, describing film. Now find out a best answer that cannot be a subject and the verb because we can already find out the subject and the verb in this sentence. A, now, it can be because it is an adverb. B, is, no. Why? Because if you choose is, it will be double verb. What about C? It, no, because it will be double subject. Was, it will be double verb. So the best answer is noun. Okay, next. A present participle is the ing form of the verb. Present participle can be as a part of the verb or as an adjective. It is a part of the verb when it is accompanied by some form of the verb be. It can be am, is, are, was, were, be, or been. It is an adjective when it is not accompanied by some form of the verb be. When there is no be, it is constituted as adjective describing the noun before it. Okay, we come to past participles. The past participle is the form of the verb that appears with have or be. Not only have, it can be have, has, had. Be, it can be am, is, are, was, were, be, or been. To make us easy to remember past participle is the third verb. Verb 3 of a verb. For example, taught. Taught is the verb 3 of teach. Seen is the verb 3 of see. See, saw, seen. Written is the verb 3 of write. Write, wrote, written. So those verb 3 are constituted as past participles. The past participle can be as a part of the verb preceded by auxiliary have, has, had, or be. Be can be am, is, are, was, were, be, or been. The second one, it can be an adjective not with auxiliary have, has, had, or be. Have a look at the examples. The mailman has left a letter in the mailbox. Can you find a past participle? Yes. Left is the verb 3 of leave. Leave, left, left. Before left, we can find out auxiliary has. So the function of left is as a verb. The classes were taught by Professor Smith. Can you find out a past participle? Yes, taught. Taught is the verb 3 of teach. Teach, taught, taught. This verb is preceded by to be were. So the function of taught in this case is as a verb. And then we come to the next example. The letter left in the mailbox was for me. Have a look at the sentence. Can you find a subject and a verb? The latter is the subject, was is the verb. What about left? Left is a past participle which is not preceded by auxiliary have, has, had, or be. So the function of left in this case is as adjective describing the latter. The classes taught by Professor Smith were very interesting. Can you find out the subject and the verb? Yes, the subject is the classes. The verb is were. What about past participle? Yes, I can find out the past participle taught. Taught is the verb 3 of teach. Before taught, there is no auxiliary or be. So the function of taught is as an adjective describing the classes. Have a look at the example. The bread blah blah baked this morning smelled delicious. First, determine or find out the subject and the verb. The bread as the subject, smelled as the verb. What about baked? Because this sentence has already the subject and the verb, baked in this case function as the adjective. Please find out the best answer. A. Has baked. Now, because if you choose this one, this sentence will have two verbs, double verbs. What about was? Now, because it will have two verbs. What about it? No, because it will have two subjects. What about just? Yes, just is an adverb. It is the best answer to complete the blank space. For this lesson, please remember a past participle often ends in ed, but there are also many irregular past participle. Past participle ending with ed like decided, determined, compiled, created, those are past participles ending with ed. About irregular past participles like written is the verb 3 of write, seen is the verb 3 of see, said is the verb 3 of said, read is the verb 3 of read, eaten is the verb 3 of eat. Those are irregular past participle. For many verbs, including ed verbs, the simple past and the past participle are the same and can be easily confused. To differentiate between simple past and past participles, you must make sure that if the ed form of the verb is not preceded by to be or auxiliary, and if the ed form of the verb function as the verb, it is considered as simple past. If the ed form of the verb function as the verb and it is preceded by to be or auxiliary have, has, had, it is considered as past participle. The ed form of the verb can be the simple past, like I have already explained just now. The ed form of the verb function as the verb and it is not preceded by to be or auxiliary. The past participle, if the ed form of the verb function as the verb and it is preceded by auxiliary have, has, had, or to be, or an adjective. The ed form of the verb does not function as the verb and it is not preceded by auxiliary have, has, had, or to be. M is R, was, were, be, and been. Okay, the next is about coordinate connectors. The sun was shining and the sky was blue, and in this case is a coordinate connector connecting between two independent clauses with the same ideas. And the second example, the sky was blue but the sky was blue but it was very cold. We can find a coordinate connector, but in this case connects between two independent clauses with contrast ideas. So the first one is contrast to the second. Don't forget to use a comma before coordinate connector. The next example, it may rain tonight or it may be clear. Or is a coordinate connector connecting between two independent clauses, showing possibility or choices. It can also be consequences, like I have already explained in the previous video. It was raining outside, so I took my umbrella. So is a coordinate connector with cause-effect relationship. The first one is the cause, the second cause is the effect. Let's look at the example. I forgot my coat, comma, blah blah, I got very cold. Have a look at the sentence. Identify the relationship between those two independent clauses. I forgot my coat, I got very cold. It is cause-effect relationship. The best answer is this one. At this time, we only learn about and, but, or, and so. Perhaps the other coordinate connectors are going to be learned in the next lesson. Have a look at the example. It was raining, comma, but Bill went out to play. Coordinate connector, but connecting between two independent clauses in the form of contrast relationship. The first is contrast to the second. Don't forget to use a comma before coordinate connectors. Okay, thank you. That's it. My explanation about today's material. Thank you for your nice attention. Please wait for the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.